Hello and welcome to an in-depth tutorial on how to import models into VrChat. This will be fast, quick, easy, and I'll put timestamps to where you need each part. It'll be a little bit fast as I'm trying to compress things into as small as video as possible, but please feel free to slow down, go back, and retrace the steps. I'll be linking all the things you need to download in the description, and I'll start with the Cat Splendor plugin, Unity, Cubix Unity shaders, Sins Unity shaders, and as well as this, which you need to go is to vrchat.com, make an account for VrChat, and so you'll need to be switching accounts if you've been using the Steam, and go to the VrChat, and once you've logged in, you will have the option for the Steam client and SDK. Download this SDK. All these downloads will go to your downloads folder. Make sure your downloads folder is clean, not full of porn, so you can set it for the next step. And next we'll be going to Blender, which is easily obtainable from Steam. It's a free program on Steam. Go to Store, download it. It'll be in your software tab. Boom, shebang. We'll open that while I show you what to do next. Here we have we have our file explorer. I'll open up two, one to the left and one to the right. The left will be set for our downloads. If you want to find out which downloads, all the downloads in order it by date so you can see all of them on the top. And on the right, it will be set to PC, and I will show you how to get to your Steam folder so you can set up Blender and your VrChat folder. Go to this PC, Program Files 86, Steam Apps, Common, and here's your thing. Remember that process, as if you cannot find a folder, simply go back to this timestamp so you can find out how to get back to here. Boom, Blender. We go to Blender, we'll set up Blender first, 2.79, hit Scripts next, then Add-ons. Here, go to your left, extract the Cat Splendor plugin here, and take that folder, drag it directly into your add-ons. I won't do it because I already have it, and then boom, Blender is finished. We will go back to Common, now to VrChat. VrChat data, click that. Now here, you won't have the models folder, so you need to create one. Right-click, hit New, and create a folder. Name it Models, open it up, so this will be empty. These are where your models will be going and how you will make them. Now we will find models. Two sources I will show you for great models are DeviantArt, here's a site, DeviantArt, and 3d.nicovideo.jp. DeviantArt is good for easy models to obtain models. There's a lot of American models, and a lot of them are free to use. You can find the downloads here and here. I would if you want simpler models that are easy to upload very fast, I would stick to DeviantArt. But a lot of the cool kawaii Japanese models are here at 3d.nicovideo.jp. It will be completely in Japanese. You hit this top thing on if you're using Chrome to translate it directly into English. In the search bar, type in MMD, hit enter, and then you'll have a bunch of MMD models. There's a bunch of filters you can use, but once you find the one you like, you can download it. These specific files off this website, most of the time have a lot of faces, so it's hard. It takes more time to optimize it and make it ready for facial gestures. A lot of models in DeviantArt sometimes don't have facial gestures, and they sometimes don't work at all. And in either case, a model can or cannot work depending on what you do. So be optimistic, and try lots of different models if you need to. So once you download these, boom, hit download, it'll become a zip file, have your double file explorer. Now make a folder. I have one already created called for views. Just here to create a folder, right click new, folder, name it, open up that folder, drag and drop that zip in here, extract the zip here. So I dragged a zip from my downloads. Here it is now. Now here it is, and then we extracted it, and this is what looks inside. Now we've set up everything that we need to go to Blender. So you can minus this, close out all your Chrome tabs. You don't need them. We're good. Open up Blender. Here's how it will look like. Delete this cube, hit delete. Boom. And things you need to know is when you click here on the left, it slides. Click here on the right, it slides. This slides. And to move your scene, to rotate around the center of the screen, you would hit the mouse 4 button. To move the scene itself, you hit shift in combination with mouse button, or otherwise known as mouse button 4, whatever you have it binded to. And boom, here we have it. Now first we need to set up our Cats plugin. In order to do this, we would hit Control Alt U, or hitting File and User Preferences. Since you've dragged the cat folder directly into the add-ons thing, it will show up, but it will not be checkmarked. So if you do not see it immediately, type in cats And if it's still not here, go back to the timestamp, look up how to do it again. But when it's here, check mark it, save user settings, hit X, you're set up. If you need to restart, please do. Now here it is. Boom. The Cats plugin is very good at organizing your models and helping you use them. So first step, the only button we can click is import model. I will not show you again how to find your model, but basically find the thing you're looking for. Here's mine. And you want .pmx files, and the small ones are usually add-ons to a character, but if they're all around the same size, it's usually just different variations. So just click one, import the model, and it's going to take a while. Boom, here she is. Now, if you have a low-end computer, I would suggest saving it as a Blender file. Hit save as a Blender, save as a Blender file. Now, if it crashes, you can open it up again. Now, here is the optimization part. I'll explain how to do it when there's certain loading times, but basically we have to follow this order of the Cats model. So we hit import, next is fix model. Click this fix model, it will help the bones be created so that it works in VrChat. It might take a while, let it do its job. If it freezes like this, don't click it. See, it fixes itself. Boom, here's our girl. And now, the objective is to now set this faces number below 20,000. And there are two ways to do it. I will show you the lazy way immediately so that you can get out the way, and then I'll show you the in-depth way. Right now, this character model is completely intact. If it's not intact where the body completely hovers around her, just hit joint meshes real quick and then highlight her. What you need to do is get this below 20,000, and the easy and lazy way to do it is to click this wrench right here, go to decimate, and here is a decimate. This is her face count. Drag it down to below 20k. That is the lazy way. Once you've completed that, she's fixed. And now you can try eye tracking and create eye tracking because it's jointed, and then you can file, export it. File, export, blah, blah, blah. But we don't want that. We want to fix her up as good as possible. Now I've lost this. And now I will show you how bad I am at this, and I'll just fucking... I've lost a side panel, and since I'm not really good with Blender, I don't know what to do. So I'll just start from the beginning, so I'll give you a reset. Oh, actually, I can just do this. Okay, we're back. So I hit fix model. So that's if you're lazy. Once you have, you can just take the model as a whole and decimate it between 20k, and then here's what I was supposed to do. Go to export FBX and just hit export FBX. But otherwise, you want to actually separate materials first, like this. Hit this button, let it do its job, and I'll explain what you're doing. Basically, the facial structure and the eyes, if you decimate it, it removes the shape key, and what happens is you cannot make facial expressions once those things are gone. And if her face is decimated too much, actually, the mouth shapes will actually look very distorted once you do that. So now I've separated by materials, so if I go to the armature right here, I can see every single piece of material. If I right click, it shows, oh, I just grabbed her panties. But see, they're in boxes because this was in Japanese and Blender did not translate it. But now the Lucky Cats tool here, you have a way to translate it by this translation tab underneath. Click all these. If it lags like this, it's okay. So what you want to do is you want to decimate all the materials besides and with as little as much as on her face, and make it below 20,000. And if you feel like as if you've decimated as much as you can, and there's no hope in the world, you can actually delete the items and it won't have that much of effect on the model. So for instance, if I didn't want this bag strap, I right click it and I could hit delete, and boom, her bag strap is gone. But most cases, you just want to decimate, which you would go, there's two ways to grab her materials. You could right click on her body herself and it will highlight a material. So that's her hair, and I will scroll down, and this is her bangs. Hit this gear, decimate, 19,000 faces, I can decimate as much as I want. The more I decimate, the lower quality, but the less faces. Now, in my case, I would go in order. So I go click on this material, hit right click to move it to see what it is. See this skirt, what I just noticed is this skirt is dark, and underneath there's actually another layer of the skirt. So I just don't want this. Back skirt line, this is the coloring of the line. I'll keep that. Bag strap, I can decimate. Decimate, decimate, decimate. Boom. Make sure to look around a lot, pay attention, because if there's gaps and holes, it will show up when you upload her into VrChat. But basically do this in Tweak until she's below 20,000 with as little. I mean, you can do it at your own risk when you move her face. See, this is her eyes. There's hearts here. I don't want these hearts. Like accents on her face, such as like this, like hearts like that, they're not necessarily needed. It's the eyes, the eye sockets themselves and the face themselves that are things that you have to keep intact. So I don't want that, so I will delete that. And I will just keep doing this until it's below 20,000, and then once that's finished, I will join the message again. Now joining the messages again will put it into one body form, and it'll keep it's just necessary. This is a shadow thing, don't worry about that. Now we will go to eye tracking. I can show you how to eye track in this video. It's so simple with this CATS plugin. Basically, once it's jointed, you can do eye tracking, and it'll take the nearest thing that it thinks is a blink, put it in, and then you hit create eye tracking. It'll do it for you. You can test it, start eye testing. This is when she closes her eyes, opens her eyes. Quick, easy. Once you've had that, below 20,000, make sure export it as an FBX. Here, FBX, click export FBX. Now, Blender is done. I'm not doing it because I have one under 20,000 for you to show you, but I'm trying to make this fast. So now I'm done with Blender. Yes, I want to quit. Now we will open up Unity. This is this is what my finished product will look like. I will show you. I will go to what you guys will see, and you freshly download Unity. We'll open it up, and then you hit New, and then Create. Just create it. Make sure it's 3D because this is a 3D model. Of course. Hope to God. Here, at least. Here we have empty. This is how your thing will look like. It will have an empty spot here of assets. What you will do to begin with is go to your downloads folder once again, and we will take the last three things that we didn't use and put them into this empty space. You have Sin shaders, Cube shaders, and the VRC SDK. VRSDK is not a zip file, so you can just immediately drop it in, and while that's doing its job, you can extract these two folders, these two zips as folders. And here they are. Then drag them here. It will take a while, but let it do it. They're really necessary for the next steps. So once you have those imported, you can pause if you need to. We will now look for our model. Now we will go into the models, the thing we've used before. If you don't know how to get there, go back to the timestamp and you can look for it. We have this folder, and this is our FBX. This folder is known as her texture folder. Now what we will do is, this folder is not created. We will create a models folder, create, folder, name it models, open it. Delete this. I'll delete that. Create another folder. So these are your models. These are where all your models will be located. So each model is a folder. So we will name this one Danklolly, I guess. And this is our model. Now we will create a folder here. This is for her textures. This is the file with all those weird images that you found. Like this. Drag and drop all of them. While all of them not necessarily correlate to the character, like see the sample, this is just for you to see how she looks like. It's just fine to drag them all in. It's not too big of a deal. And now we'll look for drag this FBX in. This is over 40,000 faces, so I will find the one that I created just for the video that is under 40,000 faces. This character is under 40,000 faces, and her face is barely touched at all. So when I import this, it'll take a while. Load the assets. It will make this materials folder, and then here she is. She looks a little bit messed up and really dark because we haven't applied what is known as shaders. And what shaders are is you would click this materials folder, and first we will start by going and making her brighter. And to do this, you go to Cube Paradox. You click the material, the bubble shader, Cube Paradox, Flatlit Tune. Flatlit Tune is amazing. See the difference right there? I feel like an infomercial. We'll do this to every single part of the body. Even if it still looks messed up, we still want to be consistent in how we're working. If her face and her feet look messed up when you drag them into here, do not worry. There's a lot of ways to fix the model. And one way is you can go back to Blender and delete the specific things that are making her look awkward like right now. But first and foremost, you want to see if you can fix it on Unity. Because if you can fix it on Unity, sometimes you can re-add that asset back in for animations later on. If that doesn't make any sense, just disregard it. So see, for this character, her feet here and her blush here is messed up. Well, whole I found out by clicking. Well, first I'll show you how to directly identify what is what. If you go to, let me close it, click on her, this drop down arrow, and click her body, she will have a list of, it will look like this. In this materials tab, you have what is known as elements, and each element corresponds to a thing on her body. So let's say I know for a fact that this 4 right here is these heart things. So when you're testing out, what you can do is click on it, hit delete, and when it glows bright pink, you know that is the texture that it belongs to. I will Control Z. I found out that this bottom ball, when testing these out, this corresponds to these balls. And since it says clear, I will try to make it clear for my good old buddy. And in doing this, there's rendering mode opaque, cutout, fade, and transparent. I'll try transparent for now as it seems to work. Now, next part. Her eyes. These little eyeball things are not necessary. They don't fit. Well, I thought this pink would go to her eyes, but they don't work. So it's not necessarily material, but actually this part of her body here, the element 4. And to change the texture in element 4, see how she's pink, I don't want those there. If I wanted to remove it, I could just change it into clear. And if I have these assets here, boom, I've already made a clear texture that has transparency. So I can type in clear and apply it, and boom, the heart is gone. Now, her cheeks is a different series. A lot of characters have these on their cheeks, and a lot of people just give up. These are actually blush, and there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do from Flatlit Tune, or actually UnityChan has her own blush, and it'll just completely set it up for you. But in the Cube Paradox, you could do it normal way by rendering it and using the fade option. And boom, our character is set. Now, with shaders, I will show you now in this video real quick how to use them, because a lot of people ask, how do you make your character rainbow, or how do you make like a bunch of dicks on the bag or something like this. Here, we'll start with the bag. So you can find the corresponding texture to each thing. So let's say this is her body, right? If I changed her body texture to this, to her eyes, oops, I opened it up on accident, I am sorry. I could change the texture to her eyes. Let me go back to models, back to materials. So let's say I wanted to change her body and I don't want it to look like that. I hit the circle, boom. Now her body's the bonbon, but that's not what we want. So let's just focus on her bag. Bag is here. I can either change the main texture by clicking something else, or I can use these shaders. I have given you the Sin Logic, which is a great custom shader thing, and this is called a texture overlay. It will take your main texture and then put something on top of it. I've downloaded a PNG of a rainbow, and I think it's default. So if you type in rainbow and hit OK, there's a rotate speed, which means that the picture itself rotates at a speed. So, boom, it will glow and spin. Let's see if I can show you example. Yeah, right here on the top. If you want to move the camera for like when you hit game, when play you hit game, the bag is now spinning. Now I will unplay this and go back to her bag. There's many other textures you can do, and then there's also, I will show you some problems that people have with hair. It's solved. When people use this texture model, they go to hair, and they try to use the Sin Logic outline. What outline does it outlines the whole entire hair and make it rainbow. And they're like, why is this so white? What you do is hit rainbow, want rainbow outline. They're like, why does it look like that? And the secret is that the outline width is actually too big. Make it smaller, it completely engulfs her hair. So if I add an extra 0, maybe another 0, it's just all about tweaking. Now her hair is completely covered like that, and it will glow, and boom, you have a dank model. Those are shaders. Now, next video we'll do animations and facial gestures, but now I'll show you how to upload it real quick. What you'd have to do is first scale the model. She is currently 111, which most of the times is too big, and in order to see how she scales up to normal characters, you go to Assets folder, VRC SDK, Examples, Scenes, Example 2, and drag it into this Unity thing. Now here is a normal, I think, 6-foot avatar in the game. Character is a little bit too big. A good benchmark is 0.085 for most models from Nico Video, and sometimes for most of the time for DeviantArt. So I put 0.085, and now my lolly girl is up to scale. She's pretty small. I like her like that. Once you have found a good size, just right-click the example avatar and remove scene, and she's back. Now she's scaled to size. What you need to do now is make her a human by hitting. Hey, I'll go back again. Clicking on her, this model, select rig and humanoid, configure. Can hit save, apply. It'll make you open up a folder. Just make sure you put the save into her specific folder. Now here's the rig body. If she's messed up or missing things, you will know when it's red or there's things of none. I need to add her chest. I don't necessarily need to, but I'd like to. And what you can do is you can just skim through here and see if you can find it. It's completely open all the way down when you do the rigs, but I actually have found her chest, and I can just, what you do is just drag and drop it. You can reconfigure the whole body. Just make sure once you've finished, it lets you, and it'll tell you, it'll notify you if it's wrong. Now I'm done. Here's my tiny anime waifu. Now I can, in order to upload her, you need to add a script to her. Now you would go to, click on her, add component, scripts, VRC SDK2, and avatar descriptor. Now what happens once you do this is this small dot will appear, and this is your view position. This is where your character will be viewed when you play the game. Now it's a little too high, so I'll be looking way above her head. I want this in between her eyes. So it's all about tweaking. 1.2 is a little too big. 1.15 is a little too big. 1.3 is about a little bit, it's close enough. There. Now this is in between her eyes, but you can see that it's a little too forward as well. So the Z margin, 0.2, 0.1, close. 0.08. If it's in her hair, you will not see her hair. So do not worry if it's a little too, if it's inside. It's just all about small tweaking. It's all to preference. So now I have made her view position. I want to change her to female. These rest of these slots, if you want to add animations, just please leave it alone. But if you are ready to upload, simply sign in, the settings right here. I've already logged in. And then once you've signed in, go to Show Build Control Panel. This will pop up. If there's a red thing, you've done something wrong. If there's something wrong, it won't let you build and publish. But other than that, you are fine and you are ready to click this. Once you click this, it will bring you to a page. I will not show you right now, but it will bring you to a page where you just name your character and upload her into VrChat. And once you finish that, just exit Unity, open up VrChat, and your model is set. Thank you if you enjoyed this video and if you learned something, and if you want to learn animations next, I'll catch you in the next video.